Shout out to Midwest League and Ladina and everything they've been doing for the city.
Shout out to Midwest League for popping outside and always being a part of the community.
The Midwest League, you hear me?
Midwest League, we're out here.
Midwest League, tap in.
Midwest League, man, they put the city on the map.
Shout out to Midwest League. Shout out to Ladina. Let's get it.
Powered by Midwest League.
Midwest League, where we started. What's happening, Ladina?
Welcome back to Midwest League Podcast. I'm Ladina, and I'm here with
Terrell, a.k.a. Mintea or the Tea Guy, whichever one floats your boat.
And today, Terrell brought me some tea, and I decided to wait until the camera was rolling so I can take the first sip.
All right.
So this is a real reaction.
Okay. So
What is it called again?
this is a peach cinnamon tea.
Okay, cheers.
So clink it, dink it, and sink it.
It tastes like peach cider.
Mm-hmm.
This is good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. And I'll even let you in on a little secret. Whenever I do peach cinnamon or apricot or anything along those lines, even like an apple and cinnamon, I add just like a splash of vanilla.
Okay.
Like vanilla extract. And it gives it more of like that pie feeling kind of flavor to it that we recognize a little bit more.
We're getting secrets already.
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because I make and sell my own tea, but the biggest goal and what I encourage people to do, the same way you're gathering your own research, is to make your own tea and determine which ones you like. So I try not to gatekeep anything.
Okay, that's what's up. How did you know it was time to start selling it?
When my pockets started telling me. So to make a long story short, I had transitioned from working at my 9-to-5, which was Costco wholesale. I worked at Costco for 5 years. Shout out to Costco. It was one of the best jobs I've had in my adult life besides working for myself.
That's what's up.
And, at the time, the social media content creator path was still such a wild west of sorts. Like, it was still such a wild path. And, again, at the time, there were so many businesses and companies that were just shelling out thousands of dollars into advertising, connecting content creators to, or the product to the service, connecting the service to the people. So it was still such a wild west, and I think because of that, it was still at such an experimental time with budgets and finances. So I was getting paid buku bucks to just make videos at the time. And then I think after about a year or two, it got to the point where things had started to slow down in terms of advertisements and businesses, shelling out money. And, I think survivalism at that point kind of kicked in and was like, well, it's time for me to start. Now that people know that I know how to make tea well, it's time for me to start turning this into something that's financially and physically lucrative for myself. So that's where it went from me just making the content into having a physical business behind it.
So you were making videos for other people's products?
Yes.
Okay.
I was still making teas. Like, I was making, tea as content. But at the most part, my biggest bread and butter at the time was influencing other people's products.
How did you realize that tea was the way to go? Like, have you just always loved tea, or where did that? Okay.
Yeah, so my mom worked at Tease Me Cafe.
Oh, okay.
When I was a kid. Before it was owned by former WNBA player Tamika Catchings, it was owned by a gentleman by the name of Wayne Ashton.
Okay.
And we lived right down the street. And so my mom, instead of taking the car, would just walk back and forth to work when she had just that shift. And oftentimes, me and my two older brothers would go and meet her at work to walk her back home. And Wayne, shout out to Mr. Ashton. Really, I appreciate you, because, this is why community is so important. Like, this is why it's so important to see something in someone and nurturing it, from a young age. And so, Mr. Ashton took me under his wing and would talk to me about the ins and outs of not only flavors and health benefits of teas, but the ins and outs of the business aspect of teas as well. And if there were blends that were getting ready to go out of, not expiration, but go out of the sell-by date or out of season, he would let my mom take them home for us to try or for me to try particularly, or if they had new blends that they were getting ready to experiment with or come roll into with the season. So yeah, it's really because of Mr. Wayne Ashton and my mom and her love for tea. We always collected like the big fancy metal bins of like the Tezo teas, and always walked by Tea Havana and got samples and stuff at the mall. So we've always had a love for tea, and even like smashing fruit. You know, my mom would dice up strawberries or blueberries and smash them with a spoon or a fork before adding them to her teas. So it's always something that was kind of embedded in me at a young age.
Wow. So
Yeah.
this is really like a family tradition that
yeah.
you have turned into a business and
yeah.
monetized.
Absolutely.
What does your mom say?
My mom's just over the moon about the whole thing.
I can only imagine.
She's incredibly proud. She's one of those people who isn't surprised, but still incredibly proud. I think she's always had high hopes and just believed in my talent. I just feel like she knew it was going to be something for me.
Yeah.
I don't think we necessarily knew what it was, but yeah, she's over the moon about the whole thing. Like, I'd say maybe 60 to 80% of her Facebook posts are already like her kids and grandkids and what we're doing. I'm proud to say I take up a pretty good chunk of that. So yeah, she's extremely proud of the whole
I'm just
thing.
thinking as a mom, like, to know that she went and got this job and this job turned into a almost mentorship or internship for her child, which turned into a business that you support your life off of.
Yeah.
And your brothers too,
Yeah.
right?
Well, one thing about my mom is she is a praying woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's a woman of faith, and I think even the things that we were going through in my childhood that led us to be in that home and why she got that job, she always is praying and making sure that like we and that things are taken care of. So you know, even in places where I was short on like mentorship or short on, you know, having positive role models in my life, her prayers were that those were never unfulfilled. And so I think that prayer led us to, you know, Wayne Ashton coming into her life, you know, as far as, you know, getting her the job and stuff, and then passing that blessing down. And then there's something just, I know the location just got closed down, and that location would tease me, but I just think that there's something magical about that building in general that just line up people. So whoever buys that business next, I would invest and look at it as almost like a spiritual real estate. Like, there's just something magical about that building because me and Brother Murdoch also have so many connections inside of that building, just the establishments and connections that were made inside of that building, whether it is from Tamika or just meetings that have taken place inside that location. I just think it's just something very magical about the city overall, but just the alignment that have taken place in that building has just been crazy to witness and to be a part of.
Have you considered brick and mortar for your business?
Yeah, I have. And it's something that I plan on doing in the future. I'm like a locomotive right now. And so I like the go. I like the fact that I'm, you know, and God bless, I'm at the opportunity to be able to travel again and do, you know, my meet and greets and have other people taste my tea, you know, physically and, or, you know, made, you know, specifically from me. The biggest thing that I'm waiting on right now is I have a daughter. I have a 2-year-old.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And I would like for her to at least get into school or somewhere where I know I'm going to have to be there a lot. I know it's going to take a lot of manual hours for me to physically be there. And I want to make sure that isn't necessarily taken away from time that I would spend with her.
Understood.
Or anything like that. So, yeah, maybe as she goes, because she'll be 3 this year. So maybe when she's about 5 or 6, I wouldn't mind taking the time to actually have a brick and mortar location.
Is there any special blend that you got from those beginning days with Tease Me that you still drink or sell?
No.
Okay.
No. And the thing is, I haven't even been there or talked to Tamika or anything since. And I really think I really think I'm just waiting on the alignment of the moment because it's such a full circle moment that I want to make sure that all of the loops are kind of closed in before that connection happens. Because I've just got like a huge hug to give her and everybody in that building. Don't even recognize, I'm positive that it's not even the same people are in there, but just what that shop has done for me. It's almost kind of like to me, it would be like when Kev on stage met Will Smith, or like it's almost like I'm not ready yet. Like I wouldn't even say intimidated, but it's almost like, yeah, I'm just not ready yet, or haven't been ready yet.
And they don't know how much it means to you.
Yeah. And I guess the thing is figuring out how to even be able to express that, or So we've been in contact because we've discussed a couple ideas in terms of collaboration or just creating content together. It just hasn't happened yet. So just kind of waiting on the alignment of that.
So in terms of being a content creator, what is it, the balance of the entrepreneurship? Like you're a content creator, you get income from that, but then you develop the tea into a business.
Yeah.
Like which one is more worth your attention and time?
The tea business is always my utmost importance.
Got you.
I wouldn't even be at this point. The content that I make is because of the representation that it gives to my brand, and that's why I move as delicately as I do even. But the way I look at any piece of content that I post, it's for the purpose of funneling. It's for the purpose of sales funneling. And I appreciate people being able to see my humorous side or my creative side, or, an outfit or something like that. But all of it is, at the end of the day for me, is to draw attention to the tea brand. And it's my bread and butter. I'm able to provide for myself. I have a couple, my two best friends work for the company as well. And so, the content itself is fun, but at the end of the day, I consider myself an entrepreneur who makes content rather than a content creator who makes tea.
Respect. So when it comes to creating the content and the alignment of the brand, you changed your name for the sake of the tea brand, not because of the influence of someone that wanted to book you for creating, right?
Yes and no. That's a double. It's almost like a double-edged answer, because I changed it for both reasons. I don't want anybody to look at a drinkable beverage and relate it to anything that has to do with bong water. And so I think that just took a little bit of maturing to realize. And I want people to be able to recommend me to like their boss at a dental office, or, not Nickelodeon, like a Disney rep, like maybe like shoots an email to their boss, like, hey, we should have this tea here. It's by, you know what I mean? I just think it's something. And when I first had the name Mintea Bong Water, it was still more or less of an amateur state of mind, to where I just wanted to get a lot of people's attention. Like when I came up with Mintea Bong Water, it was during COVID when I even came up with my TikTok name altogether. And that's when people were coming up with names like wilted lettuce or purple, I don't know, like purple water, like just like something to just kind of get people's, it's almost like having like a crazy Tumblr name or something like. So it was really even created off of the idea that it was just going to be for personal use and not go anywhere. As far as herbs and stuff like that go, when me and my friends first started partaking, we had a bubbler that belonged to somebody's older brother, and it was super harsh because we didn't know how to clean it. So we would fill it with water, and we would add like a tiny splash of mouthwash to it. And so that's where Mintea Bong Water came from.
Okay.
It wasn't even like a random thing. It was really just kind of like paying homage to just like me and my friends, which we all run the tea company together. These are the same two
So there
friends.
was literally Mintea Bong Water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so I didn't want anyone to connect the beverage to that name, as well as, you know, if Disney or Nike or like National Geographic reached out to me for anything like that, I just didn't want it to be at a point where it kind of came off as unprofessional. It's not, I don't dead name it. Like, I still love being called Minty Bongwater. It's even still my Facebook name. But as far as having some sense of like polish somewhere, I felt like it was best to at least change like my Instagram and like TikTok name.
Okay. So do you feel like parenthood gave you an extra bit of maturity that made you evolve into this mindset, or what was it that sparked it?
No, because I feel like, you know, the same way mom or dad can settle down with a glass and the kids know, like a glass of wine or whatever have you, and the kids know what it is. They just know to, you know what I mean? I think that there's I believe that there's always a level of modesty and respect and space and boundaries when it comes to being a parent and choosing to indulge in whatever. But that wasn't necessarily the reason.
So what helped you evolve in a professional space as a creator and entrepreneur?
Just getting into the business in general.
Okay.
Like, I think, I don't think anybody starts out in a perfect level with a perfect headspace and a perfect sense of maturity and having a developed understanding of what it takes to move forward. I think maybe it was like bumping my head enough times, or getting, you know, a few comments or emails that were like, hey, you know, I want to have you come out to my retreat, but my boss was turned off by your name, or like, you know what I mean? It was certain opportunities missed that I'm like, okay, at this point, it doesn't matter what your name is, it's what you have to offer, and don't block any blessings that you might receive holding on to like a layer of what you used to be, or a layer of who you used to be.
So shout out to them for saying the hard things, because someone could have just thought that and never told you.
Yeah, I think it's important to, which camera is my main? This one? I think it's so important to be receptive to change while staying true to yourself, because, yeah, you just never know where that might lead you. Like, staying the same with time will get you new things, but change in an abrupt situation can get you somewhere without you even realizing that that's what you needed in order to get there. So, yeah.
So what came first, the 1 million followers or the massive tea sales?
The massive tea sales came first. I'll be honest with you, I'm almost in like a lane completely by myself with this. There are like several other people that are like in the tea business and are doing things, but I feel like in the direction that I went in and how fast people kind of took on to what I'm almost in kind of like a lane by myself with it, so I can almost kind of like hit the gas as much as I want to, or kind of like, it's not necessarily as oversaturated. It's not necessarily a saturated niche to be in right now. So because of that, I'm able to move in. I'm able to move with so much freedom.
So do you have people that so a lot of people listen to your good night message and it's like a little bedtime story. Do you feel like that's related to the tea, or is it your voice?
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
And I think that so I grew up on like Blue's Clues and Mr. Rogers and LeVar Burton's Reading Rainbow. Shout out to Michael Threets too. Michael Threets is the new host of Reading Rainbow. So I grew up with all of those super friendly videos where people are like looking at the camera and passing things through the camera as if you can receive it. And we all love that. We like cling on to that, and I don't think that element of wanting that ever went away or ever goes away. And I think during the pandemic is when it was needed the most, because there's so many people that were working 8-12 hours a day at home, order a DoorDash meal, don't leave the house for days on end. So there was no hugs, there were no daps or high fives. There was just like a lack of human connection overall. And I think during that time, my content was needed the most. And now more people are out of their homes than they were, especially back then. But I still think there's an element of healing and aiding with like a sense of like loneliness or a lack of human connection that content reaches out to. And so I think it's the tea, because it's something warm. It warms you from the inside. It warms your hands. It's something that's just extremely comforting. Tea itself is already something that's soothing. It can be sweet. It's good for bed. So it's already so many elements of comfort in that. And then just my voice too, like just like talking to people. And I'm very monotone. I used to not like the way I sounded speaking at all, but I didn't let that stop me from making content. And it almost did, because I used to try to like have a different cadence or whatever. But now to have pushed myself past that, make the content anyway, and find out that actually be like one of the things that people feel like blessed by or benefited like is here. I think it's just I think it's a wonderful thing, and I think it's good at like confirmation for me too, to know that like some of the things that I can be so self-conscious about is actually one of the things like needed to make people feel more comfortable. It's just one of those things to motivate and encourage more people to lean into who they are instead of being self-conscious about it.
Where did you find the confidence to be yourself?
I'm not gonna lie, it's just always kind of been that way.
Okay.
It's always kind of been that way, and really like my mom really is one of my biggest like fans and supporters, and I think her encouraging me from like a really young age, like the same way Kanye talks about his mom.
Yeah.
Which I have the same birthday as Ye too. So I don't know if there's a correlation with that.
It might
just
be.
Being a Gemini who has just like a mom that is like
adores you.
Yeah, just down, because it made it easier for me to be a fan of myself and to, try these shoes on even though they're a different color, like, put those pants on even though they're like real skinny, or wear that shirt because it's got flowers on it, or go to this talent show and do this as a talent even though a lot of people are rapping or singing or what. So it's just like anytime I did anything or made any attempt to do anything that was different, for every 99 voices that are trying to sway me from being that way, having that one really loud encouraging voice is really all you need sometimes.
Wow. And so what do you hope to give your daughter that you've learned from having a mother like yours?
I just be cheering that little girl on. I don't care if she grabs an apple out of a bag and takes a bite out of it and sets it down on the counter, and now she wants a banana. Like, it's just like, man, I hover over her. I make sure that she isn't disrespectful. I make sure that she isn't in harm's way. And that's about it. Anything else, she has full liberty of her clothes, shoes, accessories, what she wants to, listen to or watch. All I'm doing is guiding her growth and supporting what she does. But I don't necessarily dictate anything that is out of the way of her harm, or you know what I mean. Like, yeah. I just let her do like almost like 90% of her own thing, and I just encourage what she already does, and I just try not to discourage anything or make her feel like she's incapable of doing anything.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
What do you find in your travels is actually unique about Indianapolis?
That is a great question. I would say just the hospitality here, and there's just a certain type of magic that just has to do with being home and like the familiarity of just being home. Whether it's because they say you're in Florida, people drive crazy in Florida. Or you're in New York, people drive crazy in New York. I just think everybody has almost like a rhythm with where you're from, and I relate that to driving, but it's really almost in every other aspect, like holding the door open for you. You see a kid walking out long enough in the parking lot before you're like, okay, where's your parents? Like, it's just like little stuff like that where I feel like we're all in such a form of synchronization, and that's really one of the biggest things that I like miss and find so unique when I'm away from home. Another thing that I miss when I'm here is like we are a very like developing city, and there are so many different walks of culture and fashion here that I think that's almost like the culture itself. Like, of course, we have like our there's some things that we're kind of known for as a staple. Like, I think the bucket hat, like that is almost like a indie thing at this point.
Okay.
Like, what is it? What else? Like our like the way we do our like leather jackets and Letterman jackets and how we layer our outfits and stuff, like that's like a very indie thing. But it's also such a unique, like everybody has like such a unique spin on how they do things. Other places you go to, it's almost like everybody just has on like a different variation of the same outfit. So yeah, I just think there's like a level of fashion here that is so mixed that it's unique in its own, as well as like a true sense of hospitality and like a warmth that I think is unlike any other city.
What kind of response do you get when you tell someone that you're from Indianapolis?
A lot of people expect me to be from like some Bay Area, like usually like California or somewhere like that. And then, because we are a kind of like a come here and find out city, a lot of people are like almost still asking the question of, well, what is there in Indianapolis, or what is there to do in Indianapolis? So people almost find it like, well, what are you doing living there? Why haven't you like moved yet or anything like that? And I think that we're in such a stage in like development and growth right now. I better not leave. I didn't plan on it anyway, but yeah, I think those are some of the biggest things people ask me is like, what are you doing in Indy, and why haven't you left yet, and what is there to do there? So that's why I appreciate people like Precious. Shout out to Precious Norris, aka the most precious jewel.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Polish Lady. I appreciate people that go around the city and are constantly, I'm talking about 3 to 7 days a week, highlighting what there is to do around the city, whether it's a restaurant or a new bar that just opened up, or a plant repotting event that only takes place every couple months. Like, I appreciate people that just actually go out and highlight the little gems here in the city. So, yeah.
And then when you are out in the city, people are like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, people act like they didn't know I lived here. So shout out to Slum House. Moment I seen bro was maybe a month ago. I said I need me an East Side hoodie and an East Side hat. And I damn near try to wear that thing at least once every like week to 2 weeks and take pictures in it so people know that I'm actually from here. This is what it looks like when an introvert gets social media attention. And I bet a lot of people didn't know Keith Lee was from where he was from until, because I wouldn't have normally been outside. I wouldn't have normally been outside. And I'm grateful for, becoming an online presence and Mentee's presence online, because it's leading me to step out of my comfort zone and get into more boundaries that are social and still positive and like progressive, you know? So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things my goal is right now. I try to pop out every weekend, at least one day out of the weekend to highlight other events that are going on. And it's not even necessarily me like making videos about it, but just going like, what is it called? Patronizing and just supporting, like being outside with the people, I think is like one of the most important things for me right now. And for people to be like, okay, he is, he's a native here.
The first thing people want to know is, well, where'd you grow up? What school did you go to?
Yeah.
Like,
I went to the very first school that I went to was North Star Christian Academy.
okay.
I think it's on 38th Street. Where's that library at? By that shrimp hut and then that big church. Do you know what I'm talking about?
38th Street.
It's on 38th Street.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to North Star Christian Academy. And then from that point, it was a whole bunch of public schools. I went to School 48. I went to School 37, School 11.
All the numbers.
Yeah, all the numbers. And then my parents finally moved into a nice housing addition on German Church, and I went to Winding Ridge Elementary. I went to Winding Ridge Elementary the first year it was ever built.
Wow.
I know. I feel old saying that. From Winding Ridge, I went to Fall Creek Valley Middle School. And then there was like a weird fever dream part of my life where my mom decided to move us to Waterbury, Connecticut. For like 6 months, I lived in Waterbury, Connecticut. And then I went back to Fall Creek, and then we went to, and then I went to Lawrence North High School.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you went to LC, I was whooping our ass in football every year. And yeah, but.
Did you play any sports or anything?
The skateboard.
Got you.
That was the sport that I played. I used to, like I said, I was real introverted. So I wasn't necessarily like sitting in front of the library reading like animes like every single day, but you'd probably catch me out there. And yeah, I was like skateboarding around. I used to take my skateboard to school for no reason. It was just for people to know I was like, yeah, dude, you know. But that
Do you still skateboard?
I have a longboard. I have an electric longboard.
Okay.
And it probably goes like 18, 19 miles an hour. I try to wear a helmet when I'm on it. But yeah, it goes.
And we can just catch you going down the street on
zipping
your
around.
Okay.
Especially out in like Mass Ave, like spots like that. Yeah, I'll be zipping around. Or what's it called? Eagle Creek or Fort Bend, like their trails. Like I'll get out there and be out there for hours.
I heard there's a black-owned skateboard shop. Have you been there?
I have not.
That would be a cool collab for you.
I'm getting ready to look them up since we get off of here.
We posted it. We do Midwest League's favorite things every week.
Yeah.
And they're in one of them. I don't remember which week. I'll find it and send it to you.
We're locked in, y'all. Expect to follow.
That's cool. I don't know many black skateboarders, but I figured y'all were here when I saw that shop open.
Absolutely. Shout out to Terrell, the designer, too. He's a clothing designer here in the city. I know he skateboards, and he also makes really, really cool clothes.
So do you have a dream collab?
Yeah, I want to do something with Erykah Badu.
Of course.
I don't care if we just take a picture together. I think that would like complete something in me.
I've been letting my tea get cold.
That would complete something in me.
She's online a lot, so
yeah,
she might see this.
No, we follow each other.
Oh,
we do follow each other, so hopefully this gets clipped. And we message each other every now and then. But it's usually like pictures of whatever my daughter is wearing, like outfits. If I feel like it's kind of like a Baduism fit, like I'll share a picture with her, something like that.
So if you were to make a tea for the Fat Belly Bella, what would you make?
Something blue.
Okay.
Something blue. Probably like a lotus tea. Like a lotus and marshmallow root tea. And then I would take vegan marshmallow fluff and kind of dot the inside of a glass like yours before pouring it. And it would be called like cloudy day or sunny day or something like that.
I think she will like that. So are you vegan?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. No, I'll tear down a 10-piece immediately. No.
Right when we leave here.
Yeah. I think everybody can do their part in making the world a better place while still having different dietary choices. And so while I believe that every vegan in the world is doing their part in making the world a better place, I think that there are other things that other people can do while still believing in their own dietary choices while making the world a better place. And I know that there was it's a bit of a misconception when I first came out as like Mintea about me being vegan. Like there was a common misconception about me being vegan. And my argument jokingly was, well, if I love plants so much, why would I eat them? And so I just kind of leave it at that. But no. And I think when you look at somebody like Steve Irwin and how much he loved animals and believed in healing the world and still felt like he could, have an omnivore diet, that I feel like that was enough confirmation for me.
So what is your favorite Naptown restaurant?
Oh, you're asking some good ones now. Country Kitchen. Can I name 3?
It looks like you're going to anyway.
Okay. All right. Country Kitchen, Jamaican Breeze.
Oh, yes.
And Han's Korean Barbecue and Hot Pot.
Is that on Michigan Road?
It's in Castleton.
Okay. I never tried Hot Pot, but they make you cook the food yourself.
Yeah.
And then they want to make you pay for it.
Yeah.
And then they charge you extra if you don't eat all your food or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of a rumor. Like they want you to believe that, but what you do is you just hide it all in your pot when you're
Oh my goodness. Man, you've been giving us all the tips and tricks and secrets.
Hush, y'all.
Thank you so much.
Before they start coming out with clear bowls, they'll figure out a way to make them glass or something.
So can you tell me about the Steep House?
Yeah. So first of all, I want to give a huge shout out. I know I've been shouting people out this whole episode. Shout out to Erica. Instagram name Erica is Poetry. Erica, you are my sister. I love you so much. Thank you for everything that you do for me and my family and just the whole team. So Erica is a videographer, photographer, and poet here in the city of Indianapolis as well. I ran into Erica and Slim at the garage just one day, just randomly. And Erica is like a mad scientist with a camera. Like she's very energetic and almost kind of like the Tasmanian devil in a tornado like type deal.
Okay.
So this is my first time meeting her, and she's like, yeah, like I've got all these ideas. I want to do this. I want to do this photo shoot. I have an idea for this photo shoot. And it was a whole lot. Like I'm really an introvert for real. And like I'm super calm. So it was like a lot of energy. So I'm like, okay, well, I took her Instagram. And later on that night, I go and check out her page, and it's some of the best photography I've ever seen.
Oh.
Like it's like the color theory and what the down to the sunglasses matching, a couple drops of paint on a sign, like just the way the colors and everything pop is just so pleasing to like my eye. And it was just like, absolutely, I got to work with you. And so we ended up doing a photo shoot with her and a couple more young women. That's another thing that I love about the Steep House is besides me, it's a team of all black women. And so just the structure and keep me on my toes and stuff like that, like it's all there. So everybody works so well together. But anyway, we did this photo shoot and it was phenomenal. It was a great photo shoot. What Erica didn't know at the time is I was at a very low point in my life, career-wise. I was struggling to find a pivot while knowing that I needed one. And so I was creating content to essentially keep my head above water, but it was the same content that I had been creating. And I could tell by looking at just numbers and responses that I didn't have very much long to continue to make tea or to have the same structure on how I was making my videos and content. And so it really was like, it was almost like a godsend for real, like running into Erica. And like I said, the photo shoot went phenomenally. And at that point, I'm like, okay, what else can we do? And she had this idea for an interview series called The Steep House. And, you know, in the interview, the first part of it is similar like a Martha Stewart or Emerald or Rachel Ray, where me and whoever I'm interviewing, we're behind a counter with, you know, stovetop and all that, and we're making tea together. It's either of their preference or what they're needing at the time, or something that involves their favorite fruit or their favorite spice, if it's cinnamon or nutmeg, or herb if it's lavender, peppermint, whatever have you. And then the second part is us sitting down the same way you and me are today. And I get to know a lot more about them, their origin, their upbringing, childhood, what got them into the career path or arts journey that they're in currently. And yeah, it's gone phenomenally. We're getting ready to wrap up our first season. We've had guests from the likes of Fitz, shout out to Fitz. We've had Ashley Noor, shout out to Ashley, love you. We've had Brother Murdoch, my brother, man. We've had so many wonderful, awesome pillars of the city that are actually doing, just making a mark and having a positive, impactful impact here in the city.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's just been cool being able to get to know these people from my own curiosity off into the curiosity of both of our audiences. So yeah, that's what the Steep House is. You can find us on YouTube at the Steep House, TheSteepHouse. Yeah, once again, that's TheSteepHouse. So be sure to check us out. Our interview with Ashley Noor actually just dropped, I believe yesterday or the day before. So that's our newest interview.
Love Ashley.
Yeah, she's a great individual.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very warm spirit too.
Yeah.
And she tells it like it is too. It's not just all sweetness, but even like her, she reminds me a lot of the tea that we made.
Oh.
So yeah, we did a pineapple jalapeno tea. So if you want to find a little bit more on why that correlation is, be sure to check out our interview. Mm-hmm.
So what is that like when you're in a space where you know you need to pivot and you're trying to figure it out?
It's not good. It don't feel good. It's very uncomfortable. It's very discouraging at times. And then, you know, being a content creator, you have to look like right in front of you, because looking at your rear view mirrors or looking at your side mirrors, you'll see somebody who just started making content 2 months ago that is already blowing up, Super Bowl, ball drops, all of this. And it's like, well, dang, why hasn't that happened to me?
Mm-hmm.
Or even, for instance, even maintaining the accolades and accomplishments that you've had, it's like there constantly needs to be a change, because the internet is like a flowing, rushing river, and it's constantly changing, and it's volatile. It's really more so, probably a lot more similar to a stock market than anything.
Wow.
It's so incredibly volatile. So you have to figure out how to align yourself and move yourself with something that's constantly ever changing and constantly increasing or decreasing. And then, you know, you've got political things going on. You've got McDonald's dropping new sandwiches. So it's always something else to compete with, even outside of your niche. It's like there's so much. It's like there's only so much of the window being open or closed at a time, and so many people are already trying to rush in. Or if it's like a pot, everybody's throwing in tickets right now. Everybody's throwing in tickets. So understanding that, being true to yourself, and throwing in as many tickets as you have the capacity to allow yourself to throw in, I think is so important. And how much time do I have?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. How much time do I have to go in on this?
No, go for it.
Okay, so last year from July up until about November, I was in like one of the lowest spaces in terms of like my career. And like I said, meeting Erica and the team that I have now has really helped, but it still took some steps on my own. I was still just barely keeping my head above water. And it got to the point where it started to reflect even like our tea sales and things like that. I was only popping up online right around the time it was time for us to do drops, because we drop tea once a month. I was losing my connection with my audience. I wasn't being consistent, and then it just looped back around into the same thing, rinsing and repeating.
Was it a mental thing, like your mental health at the time?
Yeah, it was. I was like, I was being like unmotivated, and I was being, to put it very frankly, I was being lazy. And the results of my laziness caused me to be discouraged, and it just kind of went hand in hand in hand. Not only that, I like wasn't caring about my body the way I normally do. I was eating crazy. I wasn't going to the gym, so I was picking up all sorts of like weight that I wasn't used to, and all of that just resulted in me feeling just very differently about things. And with the way my numbers weren't picking up the way they used to, I thought that my 15 minutes were running out. I thought it was about over for me. And I think December like 25th, one of my favorite influencers ever, his name's Adam Killa, ended up following me. And this guy's a madman. He was posting like I think at that time he was posting like 20 to 40 times a day. But they're like 3-second videos, like 3 to 7 second. And really what he was doing is like, he was getting that algorithm to like stay on him regardless of what it was. So now he doesn't post nearly as much, but he accumulates probably 100,000 to 500,000 views like per video. And so I watched him. I watched Jordan the Stallion. I watched Kev on Stage. I watched Keith Lee, Tabitha Brown, and I spent 3 or 4 days just studying all of my favorite content creators that are successful right now. And I just took elements of what all of them were doing, because I just made a decision that something needed to change. Like at that point, I think it was almost like a breaking point, but like a positive one.
And then you had an elevated awakening?
Yeah, I absolutely did. December 29th was the first day that I posted. My goal on the weekdays, besides today, because I just got back out of town, but my weekday goal is I post 7 to 10 times a day. And December 29th was the first time that happened. December 27th, I had only 7,000 views the entire day on Instagram. December 29th, I had 217,000. And it's just, at this point, I just average probably 500,000 views a day. But it's a combination of just getting back up on that horse, man, being consistent, realizing that, yeah, you do have to work a little bit harder and throw more tickets in, because now at this point everybody is. So just finding ways to be encouraging to myself rather than kind of wallowing the way I was. And the moment I picked myself up and climbed out of that pit, it's like you and everyone else were just like still there, if that makes sense. Like I climbed out of the pit that I was in, and every blessing and opportunity to speak or be involved or be a part of anything was just still there, like, hey, like we've been waiting on you.
Yeah.
And so
Welcome home.
no, seriously. So it's been a crazy explosive 3 months. It's been a crazy explosive 3 months. It's been crazy. I mean, I'm hitting numbers now and having impacts that I haven't seen in like 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And so this is also just like a future, like it's given me the opportunity to like touch back on like the past version of myself and just being like, bro, we made it. Like if there is a version of you from one end of the storm that can exist and speak back to the other end of the storm, I think it's just important to be able to touch base with like the past version of yourself that is still going through it and being like, see, we made it. Especially if the soul doesn't exist on a chronological scale like the body does. I think it's important to go back and encourage yourself in the past and to look forward to having encouragement from yourself in the future that's already made it out of a situation.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you would like to leave everyone with?
Yeah. Just keep doing your thing, man. I don't care if you make drinks or do hair or if you make freaking sherbet or ice cream or whatever it is that you do. Keep doing it. Stay consistent to yourself. If you don't necessarily like being on camera or being a content creator in order to extend your business, find people that do. Like, find those bridges. I just think that there's always a way to get yourself out there, even if you don't want to necessarily put yourself out there. But if you do want to put yourself out there, it takes a lot more time and effort than people are going to make it seem. So, yeah, just for those of you that really want it, if you're not doing 30 takes over and over in a hot room or cramping onto a Greyhound bus to ride for 14 hours to do a meet and greet or whatever have you, then you don't want it for real, man. Like it's just a lot of really trying times that are going to test how bad you want it. And the more you make it through those, the more you'll start to see your blessings come through. Yeah.
Thank you for coming in and taking the time to talk to
Thank you
us.
again